Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my name is Rahma Anisa. My last student number is 047. In today's video, I wanted to explain about the summary, the social issue, and then the what can be added in the story of A Groom Like Shakrukh by Vidhan Verma. I will also put the link on my bio. So number one is the summary. So Paro and Manju, best friend from small town, watched Shahrukh movie called Diwali Dulhania Le Jayenge. They shared an obsession about how they love Shahrukh on a tractor trolley ride back home. But the problem was he lived far away and was already married, making it impossible to marry him. So they decided to find a husband who resembled him. They had only two criteria. Number one is had to be clean shaven, and number two is wearing jeans. These criteria wouldn't even considered by their family since they only prioritize the financial stability and family reputation on the arranged marriage. So they turn it into a silent competition like they always do. And Manju's marriage was arranged first. Her groom, Raunaklal, met the qualification, but he was also an alcoholic and rich. She was blinded by her obsession, and he ignored her flaws and eagerly wanted to marry him. Eagerly married him. Paro struggled to find a match, but she secretly felt relief because none of the groom met the qualifications. And one day, Paro's father and uncle arranged her marriage, Paro's marriage, to a soldier. She was concerned because she had never seen him before, and she was concerned about his facial hair, as many soldiers kept their mustaches. She worried that her groom like Shahrukh would be shattered. But then came sudden news. Her groom was being deployed by a UN peacekeeping mission and would be gone for a year. So their families wanted that the marriage had to happen within 10 days, as they didn't want to wait for his return. On the wedding day, Paros only caught a glimpse of the groom cleanse heaven cheek under his floral veil. After the ceremonies were done and she was already married, she waited nervously as he entered the room. Instead of approaching her immediately, he revealed something unexpected. He also wanted to marry without seeing her. His reason? His sister had seen her before and described her features. He had always wanted to marry someone with gray eyes, like Aishwarya Rai, and she looked up. Okay, that's the summary. So about the social issues in the story. Number one is gender roles. After reading all of the story, we can see that the man dominates the family. It means that the family is controlled by the man, especially the older man, like the father. The women tend to accept it and have to obey the rules because they believe in patriarchy tradition. So that's why. So the example is Paro and Manju. They cannot choose to whether to get married or not. They have to be in that arranged marriage. They cannot choose their own partners. They cannot choose their own for themselves. They cannot choose for themselves. So because they believe that it is inappropriate for them to do so. And then the second one is about financial status. In the story hints about the marriage. Like the marriage is about financial. It's often about financial transaction. The families prioritize the financial status over the prospective groom traits. They don't even consider about that, whether he's a green flag or red flag. So for an example is in Manju's case, as you can see, at first the parents hesitate to marry her to Raunaklal because he was known as an alcoholic person, so he is a red flag actually. But eventually they agreed to marry her to him because of his family's wealth. And then for Paros, her husband is a soldier, so of course he has a higher status. So yeah, their family agreed to marry her to him. They basically married. They basically married because of the financial status, and not for love. It is it is a really an issue. So what can be added in the story? First, gender equality, especially for women, because of the patriarchy system where it prioritizes the man. In the story, Paro and Manju's view wouldn't even be heard or considered by their family. They take it as credit. And that's why women have the same right as men, needs to have the same right as men, of course, because we're all human. And they have their own freedom. They can choose their own path or make their own decision in their life. And then the second is stop believing in myth. They said in the story that gray-eyed girls are cunning. It doesn't make sense at all. I mean, how? They cannot design themselves. So appearance doesn't reflect personality. Uh, it depends on how people handle their talk, their act. I mean, their ego or their emotion in their life. Like they said, don't judge a book by its cover. Okay, so that's all for me. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.